Welcome back, guys. I'm the Downward Doug. Thanks for joining me once again. Now, as we approach the new year, there's 1,001 things we all want to start, but I've compiled a list of 9 reasons why you should start yoga in 2019. And stay watching all the way through the end for extra bonus reason. Reason number 1, it is an amazing diagnostic tool. What do I mean by that? Well, if you come to my class, you're probably sick of me saying how we need this dialogue with our body. And the dialogue is important because it's a to and fro with your body in terms of communication. We spend most of our time telling our bodies what to do, so this is an opportunity to listen. And because yoga, you're going through so many ranges of motion, you really get to check in with your body and check what feels good, what doesn't, maybe areas that you're tight, maybe if there's an imbalance between left and right or forward bends and back bends. It really gives you information on your body, what I call a body IQ, an intelligence about your own body, informing you how your body is feeling. Reason number 2, injury recovery as well as prevention. Now, in terms of recovery, I'll let you know that I first got into yoga because I hurt my back really bad and I had to lie down for days. Even walking was a bit of a struggle for me. So someone suggested going to yoga and they were quite correct in sending me that direction. It had a twofold effect for me. One, it kept me moving, and so many of the surgeons as well as physios and doctors will tell you these days, if you're injured, keeping that thing immobile is not a great idea. When you rest, you tend to rust. So yoga was a great way to move in a safe place, in a lot of different planes of motion, under a lot of control. So there's no impact, there's no high velocity. You're moving with your own body weight in your own breath, so you can really check in on how you are doing, and you can kind of also check on your progress as you're going. So maybe this week you can only bend this far, next week you can bend a little bit further, and so on and so forth. So I think it really aids in that recovery by helping you keep mobile and also checking in on your body, which is the reason it is also very good for prevention. Like I said, if we have that dialogue with the body, if we're aware of how it's feeling, maybe you're aware, like I am, that my hips are very tight. So before I tend to do things that are big on the glutes in CrossFit, I like to open up the glutes a lot. I like to open up the hips with a whole lot of mobility drills because I know that's what my body needs. Same with if my wrists are starting to hurt from doing a lot of inversions, because I'm doing the movement every day, one, I'm keeping track of the body and keeping it mobile, keeping it working in its right capacity, but also I'm knowing what is hurting now so that I don't end up doing something real bad the next day or even that same day. I'm already ahead of the injury by knowing it when it comes up early, because so many of these things, those injuries get worse and worse and worse when we don't know it's even there. Reason number 3, longevity. As I get older, I realize this vehicle that is my body needs to last as long as possible. That means I can't do so many of the impact sports I love doing, or at least I can't do them as often as I used to. Yoga has a twofold effect of helping us. One, it is low impact, which means that you can do it every single day without incurring much damage to the joints at all, which is great. And number 2, it allows you to move in all the planes of motion instead of just unilateral like running or cycling. So you can really explore the body in all the ranges of motion that it was built to go, and it will help you in your other sports for making you stronger without necessarily taking on the impact that they might bring. Reason number 4, it helps us to switch off by switching on. What do I mean by that? Well, we've got real caught up in this world about trying to do as much as possible, being hyper productive, and also trying to do so many things at the same time. You know, we don't like wasting time, so we're forever doing multiple things at the same time. And as a result, our brains are really working really hard. The news is hypersensitive, or rather hyperbolic. The world in which we live in is always calling for our attention. So it's nice to come into a space where you can focus just on one thing, which is generally your breath and then your movement, and to help you really focus on one thing and to drown out all that background noise that just adds stress to our life. So we come into yoga, we have that hour to ourselves where we can just focus on one thing, breathing. And with that, our brain gets a little respite and a little rest from that world that is so crazy out there. Reason number 5, it forces you to take a break from technology. This was something I didn't realize at first. It's very obvious, of course, you can't have your phone in yoga class, at least you shouldn't, or even if you're at home. And I find it helps so much. It's something that I didn't realize straight away, but I was enjoying so much that hour break from technology, where I was just focused on one thing in that room. No one could get hold of me, and it was very liberating. I I didn't have to attend to anyone. I sometimes find like these phones are almost like babies that are crying for your attention. Every time you hear them, you rush to them and you feel like you have to action something straight away. You have to reply to that email, to that message, to that Instagram status, whatever it is. You feel like you're compelled to do these things, and it's good to just get rid of that phone. You can't hear it, you can't do anything with it, and it's so good, I think, for us to get away and also take control so that we're not just victims to that technology, but rather the masters of it. Reason number 6, it's a non-competitive sport. As I mentioned before, I've done so many other sports, and I still do, and I think they're great to hone that competitive nature, which I think is important for human nature, that we race, that we strive to be better than our fellow man as well as ourselves, and I think that's great. But it's also very nice to come somewhere where you don't have that stress, all right? Where you come into a place where you can just relax and focus on your own journey. So many people tell me that they're bad at yoga, and I always say to them, you can't be bad because it's relative only to you. If you're comparing yourself to someone else, then you've got the wrong mind frame about it. And that is tricky. I know going into a class, seeing people that are hyper flexible or doing inversions, especially with Instagram, and I'm guilty of it too, of making people feel like they're not good enough for yoga. The truth is, this is your journey, you get to go on it, and it's just checking in with yourself. And that is one of the beauties of it. If you can do it right, then that stress of being competitive, which you might be doing in your own business world or your own life in general, it's nice to come away from that and just focus on yourself for a little while. Reason number 7, it's a chance to meditate. Now, we all know the importance of meditation, and it's becoming more and more mainstream, which is so good for all of us. But a lot of us aren't too sure or confident how we should be doing it. Going to a yoga class gives you that double. It gives you the physical practice, but then also allows you that opportunity to meditate with someone who will guide you through it. And it gives you a real dip in the ocean of what it can be to meditate. And even the smallest amount, if we're doing it every day, can be so useful for our lives to relax. There's a multitude of benefits, which we'll do in another video altogether. But needless to say, yoga is that great opportunity to start to find out about meditation and to get comfortable doing it. Reason number 8, it's a chance to get to know yourself better. I've spoken about how we can block out the rest of the world by focusing internally, getting away from that technology and all the other stresses and competitive nature. It's also an opportunity for you to start to hear some of the voices that are in your head, which makes us sound a little bit crazy, and if I'm honest, I think we all are crazy. So it's a great opportunity for us to hear those voices and become aware of them. The problem is that those voices exist anyway, but when we let them run amok without challenging them, then they really get the better of us and we become victims to them. So it's a great place to start to become aware of those voices. Maybe we're judgmental about ourselves and our practice. Maybe we're judgmental about the teacher or the other people that are in the class. And it's great to hear those voices, but then also know that they exist and find out where they're coming from and if they are helpful in your life. That way you get to know what Dan Harris calls those little dictators in your mind, and you get them under control. Reason number 9, yoga gives you the opportunity to reflect. So many sports out there do so many good things for our body, but they don't really give us that opportunity to just stop and think about where our life is going. Yoga for me is such a great opportunity to check in, not only with my body, but also with my life in general. Am I moving towards my own internal heaven or my own internal hell? And what are the things I can do to interject to stop that? It really is a great time for you to reflect on your life, and not many sports or activities give you that opportunity to do that, to get to know yourself better and to reflect on your life. And as promised, the bonus reason, the yoga community. There really is no other community like it. It's so welcoming and so non-judgmental. So please do come say hi, whether it's online, or I would urge you to try go to your classes local to you or just anywhere. Find a studio, get to know your other yogis. Yoga is all about connection, connecting your body, your mind, your movement with your breath, but also connecting with your community of people around you. And if you're in London, come see us at Cycle or Level 6. We will welcome you with open arms. Well, there you have the 9 reasons to do yoga in 2019. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please click on like, subscribe, as well as the notification button. And if you have any other reasons you want to put in the comment section, please do that now, or just say hi. Like we said, it's all about community, and I'd love to get to know you guys a little bit more. If there's any other videos you'd like to see, put in the comment section below too, and I'll do my best to put those out for you. Until next time though, you've been awesome. I've been the Downward Doug. See you next time.